From tractor manufacturer to one of the most well-known car brands in the world, this is the story of Ferruccio Lamborghini, how he transformed his tractor company into one of the most famous luxury automobile brands to this day, Lamborghini. Ferruccio Lamborghini was born on the 28th of April 1916 to viticulturalists Antonio and Evelina Lamborghini in the northern region of Italy. Not entirely surprising, Ferruccio felt attracted to his family's farming business. However, he was not really attracted by the farming lifestyle, but he did feel that way about farming machinery. Following his interest in mechanics, Lamborghini studied at Fratelli Taddia Technical Institute near Bologna, Italy. Within a few years, he managed to obtain his degree as a technical engineer. Lamborghini had yet to discover that a really tough period was about to strike him. By now, it was 1940 and the Second World War broke out. A major part of Europe had become a huge battleground. Lamborghini felt the impact of this battle against Germany in particular when he was drafted into the Italian Royal Air Force. He served as a mechanic at the Italian garrison island of Rhodes. He became the supervisor of the vehicle maintenance unit. When the island fell to the British at the end of the war in 1945, he was taken prisoner and was not able to return home until the next year. After World War II, Lamborghini opened a garage in Pieve di Cento, a small town 15 miles north of Bologna. He modified an old Fiat Topolino he had purchased in his spare time. He made use of his mechanical abilities to transform the homely city car into a roaring 750cc open-top two-seater and entered the car in the 1948 Mille Miglia, which was an open-road endurance race covering a distance of approximately 1,000 miles. However, he didn't make it to the checkered flag. Lamborghini's race came to an early end when he crashed his car into the side of a restaurant about 300 miles before the finish line in a small Italian town. Would this racing adventure be the beginning of the great automotive brand Lamborghini? Ferruccio Lamborghini founded his first company in 1948, but it was not the company you might expect after hearing about his racing story. He named the company Lamborghini Trattori, which translated means Lamborghini Tractors. Ferruccio recognized an emerging market in post-war Italy devoted to agriculture and industrial revitalization. Using parts from military vehicle engines and differentials, Lamborghini built the first of his Carioca tractors himself. Based on the six-cylinder petrol engines of British Morris trucks, in the early 50s, his agricultural machinery company turned out to be a great success, which led to an increase in his wealth, which allowed him to afford faster and more expensive cars than the tiny Fiat he crashed during the endurance race in '48. He now owned cars like Alfa Romeos and Lancias. At one point, he even had that many cars that he could drive a different one for every day of the week. One of these cars included the legendary 3-liter inline-6 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, which nowadays fetches up to $7 million at auction. In the early 1950s, it became clear that Ferruccio Lamborghini had an unusual fascination with cars, especially fast sports cars. Following his interest in fast, expensive cars, he traveled to the town of Maranello in 1958, the hometown of sports car manufacturer Ferrari. He bought his very first Ferrari, a two-seat coupe, the 250 GTO. After his first Ferrari, several different Ferraris would follow over the years. Despite him buying the Ferraris, he wasn't completely satisfied with them. He categorized them as repurposed track cars with poorly built interiors. Lamborghini found that Ferrari's cars required continuous trips to Maranello for rebuilds, since they would break down too often. Ferrari technicians would then secret the car away to fix them, much to Lamborghini's annoyance. He had previously expressed his displeasure with the Ferrari's after-sales service, which he considered to be substandard. Unfortunately, he was not vindicated, and therefore decided to move further up the chain. He took his misgivings to Ferrari's founder, Enzo Ferrari, but once again his concerns were ignored. Irritated by the people at Ferrari, Ferruccio Lamborghini set to work on modifying his previously bought Ferrari 250 GTO. He soon succeeded in making his modified version of the 250 GT faster and better compared to the stock model Ferrari produced in Maranello. After finishing the modifications to the Ferrari, he gained the incentive to build his very own car, with the goal of creating the perfect touring car, which he felt no one was capable of building for him. In his opinion, a Grand Tourer had to have certain features that were missing from the cars Ferrari produced. He said a Grand Tourer should have high performance without compromising traction, ride quality, and interior design. In addition to his improvement ideas for the car, Ferruccio also knew as a smart businessman that he could make 3 times the profit Ferrari did. The key to making more profit was to incorporate the parts he used in his tractors into a powerful sports car instead. With this concept, his new company, Automobili Lamborghini, was born in 1963 to compete with the great brand Ferrari. The company was established in Santa Agata Bolognese, a carefully selected location in the small town between Modena and Bologna. The ultra-modern plant in green meadow land with an area of 50,000 meters squared had plenty of space to grow and a location where the tractor factory was not too far away either. It was carefully selected because it was located in the middle of the Terra dei Torri, which means engine country in Italian, home to the factories of Ferrari, Maserati, Ducati, and now Lamborghini as well. With starting a new business also comes designing a logo. We all know the Lamborghini logo as it appears today. Designed 60 years ago, the head of the company himself was born under the zodiac sign Taurus. He loved this symbol. He saw it as an expression of his progressive and sometimes impetuous character. With this, the logo for his company, Automobili Lamborghini, was born. The very first car to proudly bear his emblem was the 350 GT, whose first production came out in 1964. This luxury coupe was powered by a 280 horsepower 3.5-liter V12 engine, a power source that, ironically, had been designed by former Ferrari employee Giotto Bizzarini. In 1966, the 350 GT was replaced by the 400 GT, which had an even more powerful 3.9-liter V12 engine producing 320 horsepower. It was only when the Miura made its appearance that Lamborghini truly made its mark. When that super sports car was revealed in 1966, the world was stunned. Never before had people seen such a futuristically styled car. The Miura was stunning, bizarre, and innovative all at the same time. It was the world's first true supercar, with its engine in the middle, a huge 4-liter V12 with a top speed of over 170 miles per hour. It seemed impossible for Lamborghini to come up with a successor that made as much of an impact as the Miura. But that is exactly what he and the brand did. One of the most famous Lamborghinis of all time, the Countach, was shown at the Geneva Motor Show in 1971 and went into production in 1974. The name Countach comes from an Italian dialect that is a pronunciation of amazement. As of today, the Countach is one of the most ironically shaped sports cars ever built. The success of the 60s was soon followed by the crisis of the 70s, triggered by a slack economic situation, strikes, and intensified regulations in the United States market. After almost a decade of big successes with his company, Automobili Lamborghini, Ferruccio sold it as well as his agriculture machinery company and retired. He bought a 32-hectare estate by the name of La Fiorita and lived the rest of his life as a wealthy man. Ferruccio Lamborghini, who all of his life had always felt best rolling up his sleeves, returned to his roots. He grew grapes to bottle traditional wines, which came to the market named Colli di Trasimeno. His wines went on to receive many awards thanks to their exceptional high quality. After the original founder retired from his famous company, the company switched ownership many times, eventually ending up in the hands of the German Volkswagen Group in 1998 under the division of Audi. After the retirement of Ferruccio Lamborghini, the new owners went on to produce many more Lamborghini models like the Diablo in 1990, the Murcielago in 2001, and the Gallardo in 2003, each model getting more and more powerful. As of today, Lamborghini is still producing amazing sports cars like the Aventador and Huracan. What's your opinion on the Lamborghini car brand and its history? I would love to hear in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and checking out the other videos on my channel. You'll probably like those as well. Thanks for watching.